喂，你今日飲咗未啊？
飲 orange juice、
青紅蘿蔔豬骨湯、
coffee or tea or me？
飲橙汁？不如試下飲 coffee bubble tea 啦。
Welcome to Coffee Bubble Tea. This is an episode on fictional role model. 我係 Samson. I'm your host today. And today we have two guests with us. One is 阿婉 and one is Vivian. 可唔可以介紹一下自己？阿婉先啦，呢次。
係，我係阿婉啦，咁我就喺香港嗰邊過嚟做 summer internship 嘅，咁嚟到都過咗差唔多1個月多啲啦，所以都體驗咗好多嘢喺加拿大度，係。
Hello， 我係 Vivian 啦，我上一集都出現過噶啦，咁我同阿婉一樣都係香港嚟嘅 summer internship 啦，咁都係嚟2個月咁樣，咁係。
有樣嘢好有趣咧，就係我哋啲 episode 出街咧 ，it's not in order 。所以咧可以未必係上一集喺度嘅咁 anyways 好多謝你哋嚟參加啦。你哋嚟到有冇睇呢度嘅電視啊？
冇啊，我哋嗰個電視咧，屋企嗰個電視好似就收唔到，要上網咯，咁我哋就收唔到本地電視台咯，應該。
Okay, yeah. I think this is a more recent trend that many people simply don't have cable TV or they have different kind of cables, so they get different show. So when I came here, the first thing, the second, 即係第一朝起身咧就係開電視啊，即係細路仔。I think I was 9， 跟住咧就 at that moment 就係全部唔同嘅卡通片啦。其實即係而家咧，即係可能要話全球都睇，Demon Slayer。Naruto 咁啦，但係嗰陣時都幾唔同嘅。咁嗰陣時我睇咧有啲都唔記得啦。I really remember Care Bear。Inspector Gadget。I just gave away which generation.
This is all from that generation,
yeah.
Which you guys can try and guess.
係啦，咁樣咧就其實係即係進入咗一個唔同嘅文化啦。咁 so yeah。We grow up with a lot of fiction around us, and actually, and it doesn't stop. So from cartoon, television, comics, novels. Actually, fiction includes novel. We start in kindergarten too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I used to read Hardy Boys during primary school. Hardy Boys 即係兩個 Were they in high school or？
我冇睇
early university 係啦，即係總之係兩個後生仔啦，跟住就佢哋兩兄弟去破案啊，學校有啲壞人啊咁樣啦，有陣時咧就連佢哋警察都揾佢哋幫手啊，係咪即係 sort of
modern day like Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah, so sort of a little bit of my role model. 我諗好唔同嘅。I was not 我唔中意破案嗰啲I'm not that kind of kid. So, not really my role model, but I enjoy reading them. Care Bear, not really. 太過 fluffy. 你有冇聽過 Care Bear？ 即係總之一紮好似
熊仔
Teddy Bears，
即係佢
哋有啲 some kind of powers，and then 跟住有啲壞人咁啦。咁 Inspector Gadget 咧係
一樣破案咯，都係。係
啦，你知唔知咩 Inspector Gadget？
唔係太知。
係啦，即係其實有套戲咧，佢喺香港出過嘅。咁咧，但係 Inspector Gadget 就好大個啦。但係佢側邊佢嗰個 nephew or niece， 即係有個嗰個親戚有個細路女咧，就好聰明嘅。She's the smart one. So sort of that a little bit of role modeling, I guess. 即係I want to be the smart one.
Okay, right.
咁樣咁，但係當然啦，嚟之前其實已經好多 role model 啦。睇叮當，其實睇叮當，我唔知同邊個 role model 好啊。即係 the lead character, it's kind, it's nice and gentle, but not necessarily bright 咁樣係咪？跟住黃聰明，但係黃聰明 is a nerd. I don't want to be a nerd 咁樣。
You said you wanted to be smart though.
But not that kind of book smart.
Okay.
係咪啊？
Just street smart.
同埋佢唔係太多 portrayal 咯。
係啦，好少出現啊。 咁所以睇叮當其實我冇 role modeling 啊，like I might want to be one of their friends，but 咁樣不如問下大家啦，你哋由細個講起先啦，記唔記得有啲乜嘢 character in any kind of medium 係啦，即係 novels、movies、anything 係你會覺得我想似佢咧 ，not just want to be their friend， 有啲嘢 learn from them 咧，咁有冇咧？大家？
我嘅話，我細個其實我覺得我個人本身好俾 novel 影響，即係我自己好中意睇書啊、小說啊嗰啲嘢，所以其實 kind of 唔算係得一個 role model 嘅，即係可能每個人都有啲特質會影響我咁樣。咁但係如果係即係一路到而家啦，或者係最有印象咧，我覺得就係 Sherlock Holmes 係啦，因為好中意 Sherlock Holmes 同你一樣，都係好中意啲好 smart 啊、好 clever 啊，即係佢好似好即係睇穿一切咁樣嗰種人啊，所以嗰陣係好似憧憬會變成即係咁樣人會變成一個 smart 嘅人咁樣咯。
咁你係睇即係原本英文嗰個小說？
我嗰陣細個係睇翻譯嘅。
OK。係啦，
但係我係睇好多次啲案件，我細個係識背咁滯嘅，都係睇到。跟住
大家有冇睇 Sherlock Holmes 啊？The novels or
not the novels, but the movies were pretty good.
你睇嘅係邊一個系列嘅 Sherlock Holmes？
Robert Downey Jr. The latest ones. Yeah, those were pretty good. Yeah.
我最中意係
就好 hit 就係 Benedict Cumberbatch。係啊，
超級中意嗰個 BBC 嘅 series。
Yeah, the TV series. Yeah.
What about you, Colin?
I think for me, the one that comes to mind are the characters that were like underdogs. So like they really were not good at anything. Like they might not be really smart. They were bullied often or looked down upon. And then through hard work and perseverance, they really were able to get out of that role and then, I guess, make a name for themselves. But at the same time, still remaining humble and treating people with respect and all that, even though they did not receive that sort of treatment when they were younger. So, I mean, there could be a lot of characters like that. I think one that comes to mind is probably Naruto. Just how, what his experiences are. And for those who don't know what Naruto is, read it or watch it. It's pretty old by now, but I think the character that his backstory really resonated with me, especially just as someone who was also like an underdog, I guess. So that really resonates with me, that sort of underdog mentality or character. Yeah.
Yeah, I used to see a lot of commercial, 即係好多 merchandise on Naruto, and it gave me an impression that it's just a fad， 即係啲人覺得好得意啫。跟住到我真係睇落去嘅時候咧，我都發現其實真係幾好睇。
Yeah, it's very deep, especially when you get later on, and it's very sad. Like, at least some of the backstories, I'm like, why is this so sad? It's like an anime characters and all this, and I'm like, I don't want to watch this. I'm like bawling my eyes out right now. It really strikes a chord with how the character developments and some of those backstories are developed. Yeah.
因為我都有睇 Naruto， 即係我可能心目中嘅一啲 fictional 嘅 role model 都同 Colin 有啲似嘅，即係包括 Naruto 啦，或者係佢入邊其實有另外一個 character 叫 Lee 啦，即係小李啦，咁佢就係一個好努力型嘅人嚟嘅，即係佢冇任何天賦，但係佢努力型，即係佢好努力咁樣去即係 achieve 一啲忍術啦，但係佢其實係即係冇其他人好似 Sasuke 啊或者係其他人咁樣係有啲即係佢哋嗰啲 super power 啦，我唔知點樣講啦，係啦嗰類啦，咁所以我覺得都幾值得學習咯。即係我覺得日本一啲 anime 咧，佢哋係好係由一啲好 powerless 嘅人開始啦，但係咧你就會同佢哋一齊成長，一齊去 gain power 啦。嗰個感覺係即係我覺得同佢哋一齊成長係一啲幾即係好似 role model 咁樣睇住佢哋啦。咁我另外一個想 mention 嘅就係我以前有睇過另外一套anime 就係叫做 iShield 21啦。咁就係講有個高中生，咁佢就係由細又係俾人 bully 嘅，但係咧就因為佢幫人哋係咁即係嗰啲 學長嗰啲 senior 啫，就叫佢買嘢啦。咁佢就係咁跑 on and off 咁樣咧，就練咗一個好好嘅 running speed。咁跟住之後咧，佢就join 咗一個American football club 咁樣。咁之後佢就即係憑住呢個 running speed 咧，就 achieve 好勁咁樣。咁我覺得，因為呢樣嘢就係令到我想都喺自己嘅，即係因為我 high school 就冇 join 任何 team sports 咁樣。咁之後，但係由我入咗大學之後咧，咁我就想玩一啲 team sports 咁樣，就可以好似佢哋咁樣，咁就可以由堅持啊，或者係一啲努力啊，咁樣就去即係 achieve higher 咁樣咯。
頭先有講到即係喺 Naruto 嘅故事有唔同嘅 character。你Vivian 你有冇睇 Naruto 嘅？
我有睇，但係冇咁深嘅感觸咯，即係我覺得睇就真係睇。即
係睇咗就睇咗。係啦。OK。咁其實都想睇下，因為每一個古仔都有，尤其是一啲好嘅故事啦。I guess they have good characters and it's not just one character too. And it's interesting how which one we choose. I think. 咁頭先阿碗講到係小李啦咁樣，或者係即係 Naruto， 跟住我都喺度諗有冇人會揀 Sasuke 係咪叫？Sasuke 係我一路都唔係好肯定個名，係咪？因為有陣時啲 character 咧係啦，即係he's not the underdog in the story, or there are some characters who are less popular. Then I see a 皺眉頭 from you. 係咪
都唔算 popular 嘅。
我唔係話唔 popular.
He's the cool one.
He's the cool one. He's not the underdog. I mean. Yeah. 係啦，即係 do we choose some characters that are not the popular one as well? But there are still things that we might learn from them or we resonate with them.
I'm sure people choose him for, I think the way that you resonate with characters in anime is based on your own experiences. And the creators and the authors of these animes and stories and TV shows often take these sorts of real life stories to kind of portray something that can resonate with its audience. So in this sense, from an anime standpoint, I'm sure there are people that can resonate with Sasuke. For him, his background reminds me of someone who's always been kind of, basically to sum it up, he's seeking revenge for those who haven't watched the anime. And he has something to prove to others, but in a very different way, unlike Naruto, I guess. So his background is more dark, I would say. He has one sole purpose, right? So I guess it's people who can resonate with him are really people who have something to prove. Yeah, have something to prove.
Yeah. 你哋覺得點？即係我哋嘅 human everyday experience 就即係 we're not ninjas. We don't have. I guess we don't have revenge.
We don't wear headbands.
Yeah. 但係我哋點樣？How do we put that into our lives？係咪？即係 even with me with Inspector Gadget, I'm not out there solving crime, right? So 係啦，即係我有陣時都諗我哋其實點樣將我哋睇到嗰樣嘢變咗即係 become a role modeling。
我覺得可能係佢嘅特質咯，即係你覺得佢係影響到你嘅，可能佢某啲特質你覺得係即係你會係好希望成為一個咁樣嘅人咁樣，咁你咪將你啲即係某一啲特質去將佢擺落個你個 life 度，即係可能係佢個堅持啊，可能係佢唔放棄啊，咁嗰啲嘢其實你唔一定要係忍實嘅時候先用到嘅，係啦，即係你去做其他嘢嘅時候都會可以做到呢樣嘢。我覺得 kind of 係咁樣咯。
同埋 Naruto 好出名嘅一樣嘢就係佢前期其實佢唔係好叻噶嘛，忍術方面，但係佢永遠都係靠把口去贏人咯，即係佢嗰個佢好 persuasive 去說服其他人去 join in 佢咁樣咯。咁所以呢個就唔使一定要有 super power 或者係一啲忍術先可以學到嘅嘢嚟嘅。
I think it's the values and principles that these characters have and that how they've been developed, which we relate to, or things that we want to obtain ourselves.
我哋講少 role model 啦，其實 講多少少我哋點追呢啲嘢啊。嗱，OK，so for example for me， 咁我其中有啲嘅 role model 咧係睇啲 Chinese 嗰啲武俠小説，咁樣咧就即係 there are various ones with sort of different personalities， 有啲咧係 they're very 昂直，英文係點啊？昂居 ，How you say 昂居 in 英文
？Exactly 係 nerdy 啊，
唔係 nerdy。They're a little bit naive。我係諗緊郭靖啊嘛，郭靖即係 naive， 係啦咁樣。OK，so there's but he's really hardworking， he's really straightforward， he's very black and white 咁樣。跟住有啲characters 咧又好即係 smart 嘅，係講嘢又叻啊，又靚仔啊咁等等。咁所以咧即係 to me 即係 sort of at different times I would like。即係 different role models 跟住咧咁即係 for me to follow them， 我咪睇小説咯，跟住可能有 movies 有 TV show 又可以睇啦，跟住有 video games 就 play them right。So what about you guys？
因為我頭先都有講過話，我睇 iShield21 啦，咁就係 join，因為佢玩American football 咁樣，咁就令到我都覺得好熱血，咁我又想好似佢咁樣，即係因為我之前冇試過啦，咁我又想可能即係喺一個運動入邊就堅持，同埋因為要好多 practice 㗎嘛做運動，跟住又要有 team spirit 咁樣啦，咁我就喺佢身上面都睇到呢啲嘢，咁我又想好似佢咁樣去。類似係試多啲唔同嘅嘢啊，同埋係喺呢個即係喺運動呢個領域入邊，可能係得到成就感咁樣。咁所以就對我嚟講，我就自己step out 咗一個 comfort zone， 因為我之前冇乜點樣玩運動嘅咁樣，咁我就去咗 join 運動咁樣咯。咁就我諗呢個就係其中一個我想朝住佢嘅方向去做嘅嘢。係
我嘅話。基本上啱我講 Sherlock 啦，基本上係所有嘅 movie 啦、books 啦，或者係啲漫畫，所有關於 Sherlock 嘅嘢我都會睇噶啦。跟住就其實佢每一個 version 都會有少少唔一樣嘅，Sherlock 佢都會有個作者嘅 interpretation 咁樣。咁你每一次都可以再望下究竟你心目中嘅 Sherlock 究竟係點樣嘅咧？即係你心目中嘅嗰個 role model， 咁其實佢有啲咩特質啊咁樣。咁每一次都會 modify 少少咁樣咯。咁我覺得 kind of 係咁咯。
或者我分享下我觀察到 Vivian 嘅嘢啦，即係我
OK
係啦，即係我覺得即係同佢相處咗，因為我哋 intern 之後先識嘅咁樣，咁可能咧就覺得佢對一啲好邏輯性嘅一啲 board game 啊，佢其實都幾在行嘅，即係我覺得係可能都關 Sherlock Holmes， 即係訓練咗佢一啲邏輯嘅思維咁樣，咁就令到佢好想好似 Sherlock Holmes 咁樣咁醒啊，或者咁 logical 啊咁樣，係咯，
即係我自己係讀 psychology 噶啦。咁其實我覺得呢個都關 Sherlock 事，其實係因為係咯，即係覺得佢好型咁樣，咁就開始了解啲類似嘅，可能detective 啊，嗰啲咩 deduction science 啊之類咁樣，咁慢慢就會發覺原來我對呢方面係有興趣嘅，咁就向住呢個方向咁樣去咯，即係或者係啱啱講過嗰啲即係 logical 少少嘅 board game 啊，咁其實我知好中意呢啲要推，即係同你唔同，我中意啲 deduction 嘅嘢啦，咁所以係咯，覺得呢個就係佢點樣影響到我，其中係。
諗翻係啦，即係你啱啱講運動咧，即係我都諗翻起細個睇足球小將啦。咁 do you play football or soccer?
Yeah, I do all of that.
Yeah, 係啦，即係I guess for a lot of kids who read 足球小將
standing 啦，
係啦，即係打波就係諗，就係想象我係邊個咁樣 ，very 即係好快可以 relate 到啊。但係我就諗，即係睇武俠小説冇乜嘢好 relate 咁樣。咁
你有冇想象過自己係韋小寶？
唔係韋小寶，即係韋小寶我係即係我中意睇功夫嗰啲嘅。咁即係當然可以想象自己打交啊嗰啲咁樣。
你打邊個啊？
打邊個？梗係打同學。My enemies in school, I've lots of enemies.
Okay.
That kid in the next class. That doesn't look at me the right way， 咁我想一掌打低佢咁嗰啲。係啦，即係。
That's why you read the book。
好似唔好群集。
Okay, I understand now。
另外有少少就即係 at some point 到中學我就會想睇翻一啲即係 Chinese history 嘅書啦咁樣。咁頭先大家一路再講多少少，即係嗰個大家嘅有啲嘅 role model 啦。咁但係其實好多 role models 咧，好多 好多 flaws 啊，即係 a lot of it's not all good, right? I guess a lot of role models, maybe a lot of characters, they're interesting. It's because they're real with flaws. So how do you work that out when you think about these people you really like or 即係呢啲 role model 你會點樣諗嘅咧
I mean, for starters, like I know that there are certain things in the shows and novels that we read or watch that are impossible to do, right? Like if you're watching like an anime or something, then you know for sure that you're not going to fly in the air like 10 feet to dunk a basketball, or if you do certain things, it's not going to magically happen, right? So obviously, like those sorts of things are, made for entertainment, and certainly, I guess it goes to show, or at least the message they're trying to portray is that if you work hard at something, then you'll hopefully be able to succeed in it. But obviously, that there are going to be like physical constraints or realities that just you may never obtain those things. So I mean, those sorts of flaws, I think the flaws that they present is good. It certainly helps you to ground yourself to reality a bit more. So you're not trying to fly to space or something. Yeah.
我會覺得即係啲 force 或者 witness 啊，就係 what made they 啊，即你例如 Sherlock 咁樣，佢好自大啦，跟住好即係喺某啲方面係冇常識咁滯啦。咁但係我覺得如果唔係咁嘅話，咁佢就唔係咁 fascinating 咯。即係呢個係即係例如好似有個人好似好 perfect 咁樣，所有嘢都好完美咁，但係當一個 perfect person 咁，我覺得我又好難 relate 佢落我度咁樣，即係佢就唔會係我個 role model，即係好似好勁咁樣咁，但係就會有 distance 咯。所以我覺得一個即係好似正常人，你都有好多 witness 啊嗰啲嘢，咁所以我覺得一個 role model 唔會係 perfect 噶咯。
我啱啱諗翻起there's this author in Hong Kong called 倪匡。
Okay.
Yeah, he's sort of the godfather of science fiction in Hong Kong. 跟住咧and then he just died a few days ago.
Oh, I think my parents told me.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
係啦。咁樣嗰陣時我睇好多佢嗰啲小說嘅，跟住咧咁就 sort of 我諗我唔會刻意地想學佢嘅，但係 and then it just rub off。咁樣咧，即係佢有樣嘢咧，佢有啲 moment 係，即係佢 actually generally 佢叫做好 focus on 佢自己嘅 goal 嘅。有陣時係明顯地係 self-centered 嘅。咁樣咧，我睇嗰排咧，我有陣時真係會用佢講嘢嘅方法同我 parents 講嘢。跟住咧，係啦，即係嗰陣時我講完咧，我至懷疑，因為我講咗佢嗰句對白喎，咁樣。咁係啦，即係跟住，但係 retro 即係睇翻轉頭咧，就即係會睇到即係佢成個人好立體咁樣啦，係嘅。咁亦都係即係佢就係有咁嘅 I guess 咁嘅 personality and so that's the kind of life this person lives and so on. This fictional character 咁樣。Yeah.
小說 is short stories?
Not really. It's in general novel, sort of.
What about 老夫子?
老夫子咧係漫畫啦。
Oh, that's like comics.
Yeah.
Okay, that's why I like.
係啦，小說係啦 ，it's not short story.
Okay.
係啦，即係一沓都係小說，即係好厚嗰啲都係。
Yeah.
有冇一啲 character 你好 have you been disappointed by some of these role models？
我覺得因為佢係 fiction 啦，或者係即係總之係一個作者寫㗎嘛，咁其實好多嘢係ongoing即係咯。咁你一開頭嘅時候，你覺得一個人係好值得你崇拜啊，或者係你覺得佢好有影響力。咁但係佢後尾唔知可能作者嘅問題就令到佢開始一個 character 開始慢慢越嚟越崩壞啦。咁我覺得呢個係 kind of 嘅 disappointment 咯。
我諗翻係即係呢種 disappointment 可能我細個啲至有啊，因為我就會when I was younger I would put more of my 即係可能係一種 fascination 或者即係 emotionally more attached， 咁所以到 呢個 character 轉咗嘅時候，我就會 disappointed.
You're too invested in the character, and then when something you don't like happens, you're like, oh, why did that character have to turn into this monster that is like, I did not like
dark
that.
Side.
Yeah, it's kind of like, now that you bring it, it's like Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's like, Anakin becoming Darth Vader kind of stuff. Like, he was good, but then he went to the dark side, and now he's this Dark Lord kind of stuff. So yeah. That's interesting because, like, sometimes we wish to fantasize about these fictional role models, and then we become too invested in them to the point where it's like almost like part of you.
Yeah, one role model I have, I think it's really a role model 就係睇 Star Trek 你有冇睇 Star Trek?
I watch Star Wars.
Yeah. Star Trek guy. So there's this bald guy called Picard, and he Professor X 即係 X-Men 嗰個。
Oh yeah.
Yeah. 咁樣咧就佢as a role model 咧係即係唔係我 similar age 嗰隻係即係 much older than me 咁。
Okay.
咁樣係啦，咁咧佢一路都係一個 stern, very very wise person。咁樣咧即係所以咧即係我都想
be like
very
that.
distant. But I want to be wise and fair, have good judgment, right? 跟住咧咁近呢2-3年再拍翻佢即係嗰一集嗰個嘅 TV show 啦，咁咧佢 became a very 佢好多 personal issue 全部出晒嚟啦，and 佢冇晒以前嗰種好 commanding 好 sharp 嗰種 judgment 咧咁所以咧就 it's not fun for me to watch
because you're too invested.
Yeah, and it's right now he's this old guy just taking care of his personal issue. 跟住即係 I have to accept that it's realistic actually. 係啦，但係 it's not fun for me to watch.
Why is it not fun for you?
I think for me 我估我就係想佢就係嗰個 wise 嗰個。You know, sort of like Professor X too, you know, making very good judgment and so on. I don't care about his personal life. Yeah.
我覺得即係特別係啲 movie，你好容易將個 actor 同埋嗰個角色自己connect 咗一齊，咁所以當個 actor 出現問題，即係可能即係 real life 出現問題嘅時候，我會覺得雖然佢唔應該係咁樣嘅感覺咯。即係之前Johnny Depp 啊，咁嗰下係咯，即係覺得點解佢會咁樣嘅咧？即係明明。即係之前睇咩加勒比海盜嗰啲好型咁樣噶嘛，咁但係佢即係現實中有咁衰嘅一個人嚟嘅，咁樣嗰下係咯，所以我覺得 kind of 都會 disappoint 我咯。
I think when you mention that, it makes me think like we don't like looking at the flaws of people that we have, like we praise or idolize, I guess, if you want to call it that. So then when we watch the person that we call our role models have these flaws kind of come out, it's almost making me think like, I don't want to see those types of flaws because I might be so deeply ingrained with the character that those kinds of flaws may also be like something that we struggle with. And then when we look at it from somebody that, was always kind of like this perfect role model, have those flaws, then it's like, oh man, like those are the same flaws that I have, and I don't want to like deal with it, I guess.
Yeah. And sometimes it can be ugly flaws.
Exactly.
Yeah.
咁嗱，其實即係我哋本身講 fictional character 啦，但係既然講咗 Johnny Depp 就講，即係另外有一個人咧，就我覺得
Johnny Depp's not a fictional character.
I know.
It's Captain Sparrow.
所以咪
No, I'm kidding.
係啦 ，OK。
Yeah.
冇即係另外一個人咧，即係 so far so good 嘅，好似覺得即係諗起周潤發嘅，係啦，即係 he has this really good personality and sometimes show up in the subway 去行山啊，and then he's friendly to people 咁啦，係啦，不過我哋純粹我想講下周潤發啫。嗱，最後一樣嘢咧就係頭先咧有講咗好多，即係they're good stories, so they are good characters too, right？ 咁亦都講咗，即係 their character arcs, and over time these people develop。咁有冇一啲咧係我哋開頭唔中意或者冇乜諗嘅，跟住突然間越嚟越中意嘅人咧咁樣 ？Sort of became a role model in some sense。 有冇呢啲正嘅 character 介紹俾大家？我已經諗咗，我想講。
你講先啦。
我講先啦。
講先啦，講先啦。
隔咗咁多年唔係 spoiler 啦，係啦，即係 Severus Snape 啦。
Okay, yes,
係啦，
that's a good
即係
one.
喺 Harry Potter 裏面係啦，所以just gave away the story.
Why? You didn't give away the story.
But he's people 我諗一路睇都喺度諗究竟佢係 good or bad 㗎啦。
Yeah, I think that's what most people, even if you didn't watch the movie, like you would probably have to figure out what all that means. So I don't think you gave away anything.
係啦。
If you're interested, you should watch Harry Potter or read the books to find out.
Yeah. I mean, it's a good story. There are characters that sort of went to the dark side also, and characters that finally made good decisions and so on. 咁係啦，
That's a good one, yeah.
好有趣啦，即係就會翻轉頭，哇！即係原來諗翻，原來呢個人嘅人生，佢嘅一路係有種咁嘅 struggle 嘅喎，即係我一路喺度憎緊佢嘅時候，原來佢係即係就係啦，即係即刻變咗，係咪又係我 role model 咧咁？係啦，即係 Harry 佢 name 個仔中間有 Severus 呢個字，就其實就係想佢個仔 learn from this， 即係 honor this person 啦咁樣，係啦。
I think one character that makes me think of this, and I don't know if I liked him at the end, but it kind of made me think like, I guess it made me help to empathize with him. Not emphasize. No, empathize. Yeah. Yes, that's what it is. Like, Gollum in Lord of the Rings?
Oh, yeah.
Where he starts off as, if you watch the movies, he wasn't always like that. But as time went by, he was, I guess, considered bad, and then he became good.
Yeah.
But once you know about his story a little bit more, then you're like, oh, okay, like I can kind of see why he was like that to begin with, and then he became, I guess, he came to his senses or whatever, right? So that's the kind of character.
Very sad.
Yes.
我諗呢個係有少少似 Joker 咯。
係啊，我都係諗到 Joker 咯。
係啊，即係我又冇真係有睇過嗰出戲嘅，咁但係我都有聽過好多關於 Joker 嘅嗰啲影評啊，或者點樣，都有一個可能之前會覺得佢反社會人格啊，或者點樣同 Batman 係即係死敵啊咁樣，咁 Batman 就係可能係正義嗰方噶嘛，咁 Joker 永遠都係反方咁樣，咁但係如果你真係 get to know about his stories 嘅話，你就會 feel sad for him 咁樣。
Yeah.
我係有睇嘅，即係我係一開頭 Batman 同埋之後 Joker 嗰套 movie 都有睇嘅。即係開頭其實我會覺得佢好癲啦，雖然好型嘅其實係，但係
癲同型
但係真係佢好即係有啲太癲啦，即係有啲佢係為咗逼 Joker 去做個選擇嘅時候，佢係可以即係攞自己條命啊，攞所有人條命去即係做一個賭注咁樣。咁但係即係嗰下實在覺得佢都幾黐線咯咁樣。咁但係睇完套戲之後，其實我覺得成套 Joker 係好壓抑噶咯，即係會 feel 到佢喺即係佢自己本身生活中係遇到好多唔好嘅事啊咁樣。咁但係佢一開頭係諗住佢本身係個 Joker 嚟噶嘛，咁所以佢就要壓抑住啦，但係笑住面對咁樣。咁但係最後到咗個位就忍唔住爆啦。咁所以其實我覺得即係有句說話係即係咩可恨之人都有可憐之處咁樣。咁所以即係睇落好似係一個 bad guy 咁，但係其實佢背後有好多 story， 好多係即係以我哋嘅角度睇係唔好嘅嘢，咁但係其實最後原來係身不由己嘅咁樣，佢有好多我哋唔知嘅嘢咯，係所以我覺得都 kind of 唔可以咁樣 judge 一個人咯，睇完之後發覺。
That's a good point. Yeah. Don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah. 即係係啦，同埋即係我諗，即係最新呢套 Joker 真係好好睇，做得好正。咁係啦，講住咁多先啦，即係。我其實準備呢一個 topic 嘅時候咧 I wasn't sure I wanted to talk about role models more or I just want to talk about like the kinds of fictional story we love. I think actually it's they're both very good topics. 其實我哋頭先咧一開頭喺度 get ready 嘅時候傾嗰啲正嘢都冇攞出嚟添，係咪？即係有 about 我哋 culture 啊、identity 啊等等。咁好似頭先 Colin 咁講，我哋要錄多次，可以錄多次關於呢個 topic。More about from a cultural perspective, the kinds of fictional role models we choose 啊。我好想快啲錄啊呢個 topic。咁樣咧係啦 ，OK， thank you for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram. So if you're listening to from Spotify, iTunes or whichever platform you are. You can go to our profile and I think there's an IG link there. So you can follow us. 多謝大家收聽啦，拜拜啦。
Goodbye.
拜拜。